On November 22, 1963, JFK was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. It is our belief that he was the only shooter, but not the only one involved in the plot to kill the president.
Here's a look at what happened. Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby. Jack was involved in the plot because she had cancer and by virtue had nothing to lose. According to the timeline, Jack was a local nightclub owner and had ties to the mafia. According to JFK Lancer, Ruby was the owner of a very suspicious nightclub in Dallas. The fact that he just got angry all of a sudden and decided to kill Oswald is probably untrue. It is our belief that he and Oswald had already planned it out, and since he was dying of cancer, Ruby had nothing to lose. He confronted Oswald before killing him, and Lee's response was not as sincere as it may have been had he been surprised.
The guards and owners of the Texas School Book Depository would have never let Lee Harvey Oswald in without checking him first. Also, after the shooting of Kennedy, they let him out 2 minutes after the shooting. So that's why we believe that they were part of the conspiracy. According to biography.com, Kennedy's younger brother tried to stop organized crimes, which is exactly what the mob does. The mob probably hired Lee Harvey Oswald and Jack Ruby to carry out the task against the Kennedy family. They predicted that Lee Harvey Oswald would spill, so they sent Jack Ruby to kill him and keep it hidden up.
Information from the Kennedy assassination timeline stated that police discovered that on the 6th floor of the Texas Depository they found 3 empty bullet cartridges, a paper bag by the southeast window, and 1 rifle. They also found Lee Harvey Oswald's fingerprints, proving that he was the sole shooter.
Abraham Zapruder was the filmer of the assassination of Kennedy. When Kennedy was shot, it was almost directly in front of him and had the right angle to be seen. It is our belief he did not have anything to do with the shooting, however, many people believe he did. According to JFKassassination.net, he had no idea about what was happening. Lyndon Johnson was the vice president at the time of Kennedy's death and is often spoken of when talking of conspiracies. According to the conspiracy timeline, partial fingerprints that the police found next to Lee Oswald's belonged to Lyndon Johnson's assistant, Mac Wallace, which would point the shooter towards Mac. However, there's more evidence that points towards Lee Harvey Oswald. We also believe that Lyndon Johnson would not assassinate the president just to become president, and that he grieved truly at the loss of JFK.
Calvin Bud Owens, who was a policeman at the time, quoted, "Attention all squads, the suspect in the shooting is approximately 30, a white male, slender built, and is what is thought to be a .30 caliber rifle." This was important because it hinted all the clues to lead to Lee Harvey Oswald.
John F. Kennedy and Fidel Castro never got along, and Kennedy recently put a blockade on Cuba, treating them badly for the entire 1960s. However, it is our belief that Lee Harvey Oswald did not act for Cuba and that Cuba had nothing to do with the assassination of Kennedy. This is because Lee Harvey Oswald spent time with 3 Cuban exiles, according to PBS.
The Soviet Union and Nikita Khrushchev were also not involved in the assassination of Kennedy. Though Kennedy and Khrushchev were not friends, they both negotiated peace and they both strongly went against a global world war. Because of this, Nikita and the Soviet Union would not murder Kennedy because they could not guarantee that Lyndon Johnson would also be against global war. In conclusion, our president was shot by only one man, but there were many people involved in the killing. The mob put Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald to work. The guards of the Texas Book Depository knew about it and let Lee pass through, and the filmer Abraham Zapruder did not have anything in common with the incident. Lyndon Johnson did not want to assassinate the president and would not kill him for the job. and Cuba and the Soviet Union also had nothing to do with it.